Once upon a time, in a sunny room full of pianos and drums, there was a special sheet of music. It sat on a shiny black piano, waiting for music, waiting for fingers to press the keys and make the notes sing. But these notes, they had other ideas. Wanda the whole note yawned a big, sleepy yawn, wishing she could roll instead of sit still. Next to her, the half notes, Hank and Holly, started tapping their feet. The quarter notes, a bouncy bunch, wiggled with excitement. The speedy eighth notes zipped and zoomed, barely able to stay put. The sun peeked through the window, tickling Wanda's tummy and making her giggle. Hank wiggled his stem and the quarter notes started to jiggle, giggling like popcorn in a pot. The room was supposed to be quiet, but it wasn't anymore. A little breeze blew in, ruffling the sheet of music. The notes looked at each other, eyes wide. Was this their chance? They'd been sitting on those 5 black lines for a very long time. They wanted to jump, dance, and see the world beyond their lines and spaces. The breeze blew again, stronger this time. "Ready?" whispered a zippy eighth note. "Get set!" bounced a quarter note. The notes held their breath, waiting for something big. The page trembled, and the adventure was about to begin. The music was ready to leap off the page. With a mighty whoosh, the sheet of music flipped over. The notes tumbled into the air, a jumble of stems and heads. Wanda rolled through the air, humming her low, slow sound. The quarter notes bounced like bubbles, chirping, "We're free!" They landed with funny noises, plonk, bowing, pitter-patter-plink. Hank and Holly slid down the piano keys while quarter notes landed everywhere, on the stool, the drum, even in a box of crayons. The eighth notes zipped around, leaving trails of musical magic. The piano was a mountain, the rug a fuzzy forest, and the ceiling the sky. Quincy the quarter note, perched on the metronome, had a brilliant idea. A parade! A music note parade! The notes cheered, ready for their next adventure. The room buzzed with excitement. "Let's meet the stars of our parade!" Wanda the whole note was big, round, and slow, her voice a calm, deep blue hum. Hank and Holly, the half-note twins, were cheerful green, always together, voices lasting 2 beats. The quarter notes were a rainbow, Quincy in red, Penny in yellow, Sam in purple, each a single strong beat, full of bounce. They were the heart of the parade, always ready for adventure. The eighth notes, zippy and zoomy, were tiny, fast, and sparkly silver, always in pairs, chattering quick bursts. They added fizz and pop, zipping around and leaving trails of glitter. Each note had a special role, and together they made a colorful musical family. The parade was about to begin, and every note was ready to shine. The room was alive with anticipation. The music notes were more than just marks on a page. They were characters with dreams. Their adventure was just getting started. The parade was about to roll out. "A parade! Let's have a parade!" chanted the quarter notes. Quincy tapped the metronome. Tick-tock, tick-tock, the perfect beat. Wanda rolled slowly at the front, her low hum setting a grand pace. Hank and Holly marched behind, stems high, adding a steady harmony. Holly twirled, Hank wobbled, but together they kept the rhythm. The quarter notes bounced in a colourful line, weaving around the piano bench and hopping over sheet music. They were the noisy, happy middle of the parade. The eighth notes zipped at the back, barely able to contain their energy. The parade wound through the room, each note playing its part. It was more fun than sitting still on the page. The music room had never seen such a lively parade. Every note felt important, moving together in time. The adventure was in full swing. The parade was going great, until the eighth notes got bored. "Let's make it more fun," Zippy whispered, and suddenly they zoomed past everyone, leaving a trail of glitter. The quarter notes joined in, bouncing everywhere like popcorn. Boing, bop, bonk! Notes landed on the piano, the drum, even the xylophone. Wanda kept rolling, humming her low tune as chaos erupted. Hank and Holly tried to restore order, but no one listened. Holly twirled into a stack of books. Hank tripped into the xylophone. Quincy waved from the metronome. "Stop! Listen to the beat!" But his voice was lost in the noise, the room filled with a wild cacophony. Broom, rat-a-tat, clatter-jingle-clang. Each note made its own sound, but together it was just noise. It was silly, wacky, and fun, but it wasn't music. The notes realized something was missing. They needed to work together. Wanda rolled to the center and let out a powerful 4-beat hum. Stop! The room froze. All eyes turned to Wanda. Listen, she said gently. Parades and bouncing are fun, but we're music notes. We're meant to make music together. She looked at each group. Quarter notes, you're the beat. Half notes, you're the harmony. Eighth notes, you're the sparkle. And I'm the foundation. Quincy hopped down. Wanda's right. Let's lead a song, not just a parade. The notes gathered, ready to try again. How do we do that? Asked a little quarter note. We listen to each other, said Holly. And follow the beat, added Hank, pointing to the metronome. Tick-tock, tick-tock, the sound of teamwork. Wanda started with her low 4-beat note. Hank and Holly added their 2-beat harmony. Quincy led the quarter notes in a steady rhythm tap, 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 tap. The 8th notes zipped to the xylophone, adding a sparkly melody. Plink, plank, plink, plank. It wasn't noise anymore, it was music. The room filled with a beautiful song, each note playing its part. They discovered the magic of working together. The music was alive, joyful, and whole. Every note felt proud. They were more than a parade, they were a band. The adventure had turned into a song. The notes beamed with happiness. They had found their true purpose. The notes played their song as the sun set, filling the room with happiness. Tired but content, they knew it was time to go home. Their home was the sheet of music waiting on the floor. One by one they returned. Wanda rolled to her spot. Hank and Holly hopped back. Quarter notes settled in, and 8th notes zipped to their beams. This time, it was a quiet, orderly procession. Back on the page, they felt different, connected, like a team. They were no longer just notes, they were a song. Each one was important, the slow, the fast, the loud, the quiet. As they settled in, they hummed a soft lullaby together. Tomorrow, a musician would play their page, bringing their music to life. They had learned the best lesson: making noise is fun, but making music together is magic. The room grew quiet, filled with the promise of new songs. The notes rested, ready for their next adventure. The music would live on every time they played together, and that was the happiest ending of all.